Hello, this is Kama, your sustainable podcast, and I am Lena. Today I will speak with Avery from UCapture.
How did I get here again?
Hello, Avery, welcome to my podcast.
Hi, Elena. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yes, sure. Could you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Avery Michaelson. I'm the founder of UCapture. I spent a career in investment banking and finance. And the way I think about the world, markets-based systems and looking for a capitalist solution to fighting climate change is what led me to building UCapture. And I'm excited to tell you about the platform that we have today.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sure. So we are interested. What is UCapture and what are you doing there?
Yeah, UCapture is a green tech platform that is combating climate change by making it easy, fun, and free for anyone to go carbon neutral. When I think about the challenge of climate change, it's really not a scientific problem. It's more of an economics problem. And I say that because we understand what is causing climate change. It is greenhouse gas emissions. It is our carbon footprint. And our carbon footprint is also pretty well understood. It comes from the things that we do. Driving a car, taking plane flights, running our air condition, really everything that we are doing these days has some carbon footprint because for the vast majority of it, it requires electricity, and our electricity grid is still largely powered by fossil fuels. Now, I say that we understand the problem well because on the other hand, we do know what to do to solve climate change and how to address this issue of greenhouse gas emissions. There's two things that we can do, two levers that we can pull. First off, we need to reduce our carbon footprint. We need to reduce our emissions. We do that by consuming less, switching to less energy intensive activities, eating less red meat, all different types of things that we can do to reduce our carbon footprint. But in 2022, it's very tough to consider a life and a lifestyle that doesn't use electricity, that doesn't have any transportation, that doesn't have any carbon footprint. So we're going to be left as individuals with some residual carbon footprint. And the only way to get that to zero is with carbon offsets. Now, what carbon offsets are projects, things that you can fund and support elsewhere that reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Some of the obvious ones like planting trees. Trees absorb CO2, and if you're responsible for planting those trees or preserving those trees, then you're responsible for reducing greenhouse gas emissions in some other way. Renewable energy, methane capture. There's a number of great technologies that we know are available to us. And the challenge as individuals with carbon offsets is not what scientifically these projects are and how to do them, it's how to pay for them. I don't want to pay for it, you don't want to pay for it, and people are reluctant to pay for carbon offsets, which might make sense in that why should I be the only one to be paying for that? Or why should I be one of the few people paying for carbon offsets to go carbon neutral? And so UCapture breaks that impasse. We make it possible for people to go carbon neutral for free. And we do that in a quite elegant way by getting the companies that we shop with to offset our carbon footprint when we're shopping. And I say that I feel that it's an elegant solution because in every transaction, there's a buyer and a seller, right? And it really should be one of those parties that is dealing with that carbon footprint. It's making the transaction carbon neutral. And if it's not going to be the consumer, well, we've run out of options. It needs to be the company. So what UCapture does is we found a nice trick to make that happen. Really what we did is we turned the concept of carbon offsetting into a marketing concept. And how do we do that is we've formed marketing relationships with over 30,000 online stores. Now, when you as a UCapture user access these stores through our website or access them with our browser extension installed, those stores are paying a commission to UCapture as a result of that marketing relationship. And we use that commission to fund carbon offset projects in your name.
Mhm.
So for the stores, it's a concept of green marketing. You as a consumer have a choice where to shop online. You're more likely to shop with a UCapture partner because you know that they're offsetting your carbon footprint at no extra cost. And that turns the concept of carbon offsetting into a valuable marketing concept for these companies. We've been very fortunate to be able to get over 30,000 online partners to participate in this platform. So you can get, as a consumer, you can get anything you need: travel to electronics, clothing, digital subscriptions, really anything, through the UCapture network, and get that carbon offset at no extra cost. So that's what we are in a nutshell doing with UCapture.
Yes, I mean, there are a lot of companies on your website. So I had also a look at it. So I think, yeah, you can find almost everything you need. But maybe again, some words to your motivation to start UCapture, and when did you start UCapture? This is also something that I'm interested in.
Sure. My motivation for starting this is dating back to quite a while for myself. When I was in undergrad and university, I was learning about the economics of climate change, learning about cap and trade systems and carbon tax, and seeing these systems being proposed very frequently, and even in some countries in Europe and Australia, implementing some of these carbon cap and trade systems, or even carbon tax in some places, but really not seeing that moving fast enough, right? And I think that's because politicians and regulators are faced with the problem of having to appeal to voters, having to appeal to the masses. Concepts of tax really aren't appealing to the masses, right? And so what we needed to do is develop a power to the people solution for climate change. Something that I can do, something that you can do, something that anyone can do. And to me, that needed to be a markets-based solution. It couldn't be something, couldn't wait any longer for the regulators and politicians to grow the backbone that we need and implement this. And especially when we think about climate change as a global problem, one country in isolation, can't implement a policy that's going to save the world from climate change. So we needed to develop something that worked universally, globally, was something that I could do individually, something that anyone could do individually. And back to the kind of first principle of people aren't interested in paying for it personally. So it had to be something that was free, right? How could we develop something that was free and easy enough and universally accepted to be able to address climate change? So that was the problem that I was thinking about, and was, I think, fortunate to stumble into the idea of UCapture. In fact, when I had the idea, I kind of a light bulb went off. I said, "Oh, that's kind of obvious. Maybe I'll just look for UCapture. I would just like to be a user of this platform." Seemed like a nice idea. I spent a few days searching the internet to try to find something like this, and I didn't find it. I thought, uh-oh, now I need to build it. So here we are now, 6 years later, and UCapture has been operational now for 6 years. We have, as I mentioned, over 30,000 partner stores and as many users as well, over 30,000 users around the world, helping us offset CO2 and fund a lot of great carbon offset projects.
Okay, sounds great. So, I mean, you already explained how UCapture is working, but as a user, you go to your website, and then how I can offset during I go shopping.
I'll just share my screen with you to show you
Yes.
really how easy it is for anyone to go carbon neutral with just a few clicks, as I say it. So
Okay.
here we are on the UCapture homepage. That's UCapture.com. And you see, save money, save the planet. Well,
Yeah.
if you don't like those things, you're probably lying, right? Now, we've already discussed how the 30,000 online stores are offsetting your carbon footprint for free when you shop. I haven't mentioned the second fantastic benefit, which is being able to save you money because
Mhm.
these 30,000 stores are also providing us with their discount codes.
Mhm.
And the browser extension and technology that we've built is able to test and automatically apply the best discount code for you when you shop. So to get started, you just click on the add to Chrome, or it's available on Firefox and Safari and Microsoft Edge on all of the browsers. I already have it installed, so it shows remove. So once we have the browser extension installed, I can just shop like normal. Let's say I need to get a hotel room and I visit hotels.com, and we'll see the browser extension activate automatically. I
Mhm.
just give it one click. Now this has triggered hotels.com to pay a commission to UCapture when I make my hotel booking. That commission will go towards the carbon offset project that I've selected. And you can see I'm supporting a efficient cook stoves project in
Mhm.
Rwanda, providing efficient stoves that burn less firewood. And that was all I needed to do, was have the browser extension installed. I'll show you one more time. Maybe I need to get a plane flight as well as my hotel room. I'll visit Travelocity, another UCapture partner.
Mhm.
And we see when we land, again, the UCapture extension activating, just one click to make it happen. Super simple.
And as a buyer, I can find the project on your website. Oh,
Yeah. So the carbon offset projects, I'll again share my screen with you,
yes, of
are
course.
all listed in the UCapture project section. And at this point, we are supporting 29 carbon offset projects around the world. We've been able to acquire projects in, I believe, every continent
Mhm.
now, other than Antarctica. So a lot of great projects in different countries, a number of them in the United States, Africa, South America, a few in Australia. And the projects are of different types. We have reforestation projects. Here's a wind farm that we're supporting in India, an Amazon reforestation project. Each of these projects are independently verified and certified by a number of different agencies. We see here Verified Carbon Standard, VCS, is the certifier of this project. You can read information about the projects on our website, and the user is able to choose which project they want to support when they're joining UCapture.
Okay. And how do you find these projects?
The carbon offset
Yeah, the
market,
carbon offset
yeah,
project.
right. The carbon offset projects that we have acquired are coming through the carbon offset market. There
Mhm.
are a number of carbon offset project developers
Mhm.
around the world, and we're able to form relationships with those carbon offset developers
Mhm.
and support their projects in a percentage
Mhm.
fashion. A lot of these projects are very large, requiring hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of
Mhm.
support to get going. And that's actually one of the great mechanisms of the carbon offset. It breaks down a project that is very large and maybe too large for any individual to consider
Mm.
supporting. It enables them to fund and support part of that, and to buy 10 tons or 1,000 tons of CO2. When a project is created, they get verified and certified for a certain number of tons of carbon offset each year. And that enables them to sell those carbon offset certificates to the market, it is actually that funding, the sale of those carbon offsets, which is enabling these reforestation or wind farm projects to happen. So we as UCapture are able to buy and support fractions of these projects through the carbon offset marketplace. We now work with a half dozen or so carbon offset providers around the world. Maintaining that independence is actually important for us because it does allow us to find a lot of great projects around the world, continue to find ones at good prices, and apply some market pressure to those providers. By being independent and not having some exclusive relationship, we can continue to shop and get good prices.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, I saw on your website there's also a page with ladder boards. Could you maybe say some words to what's behind this one?
Yeah, we've developed a concept of UCapture communities for institutions like companies, universities, nonprofit organizations. Even some cities have reached out to us with interest of building a UCapture community. What that is really like an umbrella group of people that join UCapture through a referral link through the companies or universities or organizations referral link so that we can track their collective carbon offset activity. Now, when we have worked with universities, that is actually enabling the university to take the carbon offsets into their accounting and use UCapture as a way of going carbon neutral as a school. And so we've developed a number of partnerships with universities around the US and even in some other countries to help the school go carbon neutral through community engagement. I'll just show you one of those landing pages for one of our leading schools, Furman University in the United States. Just visiting ucapture.com/Furman, and you can see help Furman go carbon neutral for free. So in this sense, when somebody is joining one of our university programs, we're clear with them that we are donating the carbon offsets to the school. So it's actually not reducing the individual's carbon footprint. They are participating in helping the school go carbon neutral, their school most likely, or maybe they're an alumni or employee of the school. And so that makes the platform as well something that can work for institutions, helping them go carbon neutral, helping them make a collective impact on the environment, which can really motivate the community as to what can I do personally to contribute to my school's goal of going carbon neutral. And so that's been a very useful technique for us.
Yes, sure. Sounds of course interesting. Do you have any plans for UCapture? I mean, you said you already have 30,000 stores on your website, so it's quite a lot. So I'm interested to hear what's going on next.
2022 is going to be a huge year, Selena. We're really excited about a number of new products and services that we're releasing.
Wow.
The platform that I've shown you already is the core first technology that we've built. We're now working and are very close to releasing UCapture Search. UCapture Search is a branded search engine powered by Bing, Microsoft, where you're able to earn carbon offsets with each online search. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at this because my best guess is that we will be releasing this in the coming weeks. So I'm excited to show your viewers UCapture Search. You see, it looks just like another search engine might. Search the web to offset carbon. I'm just going to run a quick search for flights, and we see, here it is, my search results. Anytime I click on one of these ads, again, UCapture is earning search advertising revenue, and that search advertising revenue is going towards my carbon offset project. Now here we've developed another free and easy way for people to be reducing their carbon footprint. We also, you might have seen, when I run that search for flights, am able to see the UCapture shopping partners already sorted to the top. So this gives me an additional opportunity to reduce my carbon footprint even further by visiting that store directly through the search engine.
Okay.
So that's one of the products that we'll be releasing. We're also working very hard on our mobile app so that we can translate the rewards shopping experience that we've done on the desktop into the mobile app and make that able to capture a whole additional segment of consumption.
Okay, looking forward to this app. And yeah, so I'm interested, what are you doing yourself to be more sustainable?
Well, I've really, I first off, of course, I use
Use
UCapture for all of my
UCapture, yes.
consumption.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So I won't brag about UCapture too much more, but I have now offset 360,000 pounds of CO2 using UCapture myself personally. I've also made a pledge to really reduce my meat consumption. That's, you know, as with everything, there's challenges and, you know, making personal changes to your life, but that's something that I set as a goal for 2022, and thus far on February 1st, I've been doing a good job of that. As you may know, and others may know, there is a pretty heavy carbon footprint from the meat industry, particularly red meat. Cows produce a lot of methane. Methane is a very powerful greenhouse gas, more powerful than CO2. The global warming impact is 25 times greater than CO2. And so just reducing meat consumption is a very important and I won't say simple step, but something that you can do to reduce your carbon footprint further.
Okay, so I mean, as a tip for my audience could be to reduce their carbon footprint, of course, to use UCapture. And do you have anything else? I mean, yes, you said eat less red meat and reduce maybe
turn your air
car
conditioning a little bit higher.
out.
You know,
Yeah.
set it from 20 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius. These sort of things will make an impact. Be sure to turn your lights off. All those simple things that we can do, carpooling and taking public transportation. Those are the things that we can do to reduce our carbon footprint.
Yes.
But as I said in the beginning,
To offset.
even with all of those things, you won't be at zero, right?
Yes,
You
of
will
course.
have some carbon footprint. It's very important to embrace carbon offsetting technology and carbon offsets as a way to get to carbon neutral or perhaps even carbon negative. A lot of people are considering their historical carbon footprint. Getting to carbon neutral now and going forward is one objective, but well, hey, I've been alive for many years and maybe I should erase the damage that I've already done by trying to go carbon negative for the future.
Yeah. Okay, then Avery, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Lena. It's been a pleasure to get to speak with you today. I do encourage anyone to visit UCapture.com. It's free and easy to join. Just takes a couple of clicks and you can save money and save the planet with UCapture.
How did I get here again?